This is Sunny from Endless Vitality, and what I want to do in this video today is tell you if you're someone who's been on the journey of self-help and personal development, even after years, why you should continue to be on this journey. Okay, so first of all, let me define what personal development is, and I'll tell you what it means to me, what personal development, self-help really means to me. So to me, the way I look at personal development or self-help, it's mastering 4 pillars of your life. So 4 things you want to try to master. Number 1 is your health and wellness. Number 2 is your money, finances. Number 3 is your relationships. And number 4, what I like to call spirituality or higher purpose. You could call it whatever you want. So those are the 4 things that when you're trying to master those 4 things, I look at that as personal development. Now let's talk about if you're someone who's been in this personal development world, on this personal development journey for years, one thing you would notice immediately is that after a couple of years of reading books about self-help, personal development, after going to a couple of seminars, you start realizing that most of the information that you're learning is pretty much the same. It's a lot of similar information. So why should you go read another book? Why should you go to another seminar? And I'll tell you 3 reasons why you should do that. These are 3 things that I've personally, the personal reasons for me why I continue to be part of this journey, even after a decade. It's been 10 years since I started my journey into the self-help, personal development world, and I continue to just be on this journey. Again, there's going to be tons of reasons why you should. I'm going to focus on these 3 reasons today. So number 1, it's because at different stages of your life, different ideas are going to hit you on different levels. Let me say that again. So at different stages of your life, different ideas are going to hit you at different levels. So what I mean by that, just a very quick personal example. Back in 2007, 2008, I read a book called The Secret. Some of you probably heard about that book. The book talks a lot about law of attraction. It talks a lot about manifestation. And I was mind blown when I read that book. It's because that was a very new information to me back then, to know that thoughts become things and how what you think you attract into your life and you can manifest anything. I mean, brand new information. Great. So at the time I took everything literally. Now who knows what the intention of the author was, what was she trying to convey, but the point is that I thought just by thinking positive, you're going to attract positive things in your life. Well, that's not 100% true, but then what happened is maybe 4 or 5 years later, I reread that book and everything hit me at a different level because I'd gone through a journey for those 4 or 5 years where I had, just through my experience and wisdom that I had gained, I knew how things kind of worked, and then when I reread it, it hit me at a different level, and it just made more sense to me in a different way. So what I realized, just to very simplify this for you, how kind of manifestation or how this whole law of attraction thing, at least in my opinion, how it works, is that, okay, let's look at it this way. So you have your awareness. In awareness, you have a thought. That thought leads to a feeling. The feeling leads to an action, and that action leads to a result. So let's say if you're someone who has so in your field of awareness, you have a thought that pops up. The thought is maybe something like, I'm not good enough. If you have that thought, it's going to lead into a feeling. The feeling might be unworthiness. The feeling might be just feeling not good, whatever the feeling is. It's going to be a negative feeling, and that feeling is going to lead into an action, which might be no action. You might just actually not go to the gym. You might actually just eat a food that's not good for you. And that's gonna, if you do it consistently over a period of time, that's gonna lead into you not being in good shape. You're probably gonna be fat. You're probably not gonna be in good shape. It's gonna lead into that. So just from the thought that you had, you kind of manifested that, but the way you did is there were steps in between. Now on the other hand, if you were to have a positive thought, if you were to have a thought something like you could do anything, if you have to have a thought something like, if you were to have a thought like you're worthy, that would lead into feeling good about yourself, that would lead into feeling higher self-esteem, which would lead into you going to the gym, eating the right food that's good for you. And if you do it consistently over a period of time, that will lead into you being in good shape. So again, thought, manifestation, right? And again, I would not have thought about that when I first read that book, but then it clicked when I read it again. So there's been many other ideas that hit me at different levels as I continue to reread some of the books I've read or go to certain seminars that I've been to. Hits you at different levels. Trust me, if you were someone who did a seminar, or if you're someone who listened to certain things or read a book 5 years ago, try to reread it now. You will see how it's going to hit you at a different level. The ideas that never actually popped out of those books at the time will pop out of you at this time. Okay, so number 2. The second one is that any kind of self-help book, if it's a really good book, and also if you go to a seminar or listening to any kind of motivational, inspirational talk, what it does, it puts you in the right state of mind, okay? It puts you in the right headspace. And that's huge for me because I just love being in that headspace where you're just in the zone, you're feeling good, and what I like to call the state of higher consciousness. So you're in a state of higher consciousness, and if you are surrounded by that kind of thought, that kind of feeling, you're more likely to stay in a state of higher consciousness. So let's say if you're reading a great book, something like, let's take it as an example, one of my favorite books, Nelson Mandela's biography, Long Walk to Freedom. When you're reading that book and you're reading about all the adversities and challenges Nelson Mandela went through and how he overcame that and how he felt at the time and the emotions and all that journey that he went through, you feel like you can do anything, you can accomplish anything, and that feeling that you have puts you in that right headspace, puts you in a state of mind that's very positive, that's very good, the kind of state of mind that you want to be in. You could have your petty little things that you're concerned about, and then you read someone like Nelson Mandela who's been through so much adversities, you immediately forget about your little concerns and you feel like you could actually do anything you want to do. Let's see, number 3 is that it inspires and motivates you. So again, things like motivation, inspiration, it's just like brushing your teeth in the morning or taking a shower in the morning. You can't just brush your teeth this morning and tomorrow you're good to go again. You gotta brush your teeth again tomorrow morning and take a shower again tomorrow morning. So same thing with motivation, inspiration. You know, you could go to a seminar today, be really inspired, be really motivated, but guess what? You know, a couple of days later, you're gonna lose all that. It's gonna go away. So by constantly going into seminars, reading the books, it's gonna keep you motivated, inspired. And you know, personally, I could share one example with you. I remember years ago, I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within seminar, which is a 4-day event, and I was so pumped up after that event. And I would say for at least 6 months, that feeling that I had stayed with me, and it was amazing. And the things I was able to accomplish, I would wake up every day just feeling energized and feeling really inspired. So those are the 3 reasons why I think you should stay on this journey of personal development even after years and years and years. Even after you realize that a lot of the information is the same, it doesn't matter. You got to stay on the journey. And if you do, as time passes by, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you could only just see what's going to happen. It's going to do great things. That's all I want to talk to you about today. Thank you for checking out the video. I'll see you next time.